Good evening, everybody. I'll try to keep this relatively short tonight because there's probably not a whole lot that you want to go after aggressively the day before elections, because there's no telling right now what the results will be, and then there's no telling what might react the most. So this is a case where you keep your powder dry and you analyze where the money is going to after the election. This way you don't have to have your money exposed to kind of more of a speculation, whereas we can do a better analysis once we see what the results are and where, we don't know, Bill. But that doesn't mean down the drain. That may mean opportunities on the short side. So as we can see, the market up 400 and some odd points today. After hitting this hammer doji bounce off the 50-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, stochastics in the oversold area. That would be a perfect setup for a bounce if circumstances were on a normal basis, meaning not a day before a major presidential election. But we can see the obvious. The obvious is they bounced it off the 200. You could also do a trend channel down through the tops and a parallel right down through the bottoms. So it was a good place to think about buying or at least covering short positions, but still not some place where you'd want to load up under these circumstances. So even though the Dow was up 425 some odd points, the NASDAQ was a little bit more dismal, not dismal, but less enthusiastic, kind of more of a wedge type setup, which implies maybe not a real rip-roaring investor sentiment one way or the other. So that's the analysis we can do based upon witnessing what the charts look like. And we can see what happened here in the, well, for crying out loud, they stay on here from chart to chart. That doesn't make any sense. But you can see how there was kind of a little support level here, maybe a trend channel. So the transportation index was up today. So it still was kind of an indecisive trading in the overall markets, really no major direction. So with that, let's get the biggies out of the way first. Things everybody's watching. Zoom, after the evening star signal and bearish engulfing signal, has come right back to the first suspected support level, the 50-day moving average. Tesla just keeps drifting lower. You stay short. However, you're in the oversold area and did a bullish harami. If you were short, and this opens positive tomorrow, the probabilities say it's time to start covering the short positions. Apple, you stay short. Nothing there yet. Amazon, you stay short. Nothing there. And Netflix, nothing. Wouldn't know whether to go long or short here, so you just stay away from this one. And Nvidia, same characteristic that we're seeing in the big traders. Just nothing here. If you're short, you can stay short, but you got to get ready to cover short positions. Can't think of anything else on the big on the big traders. Let's take a look at a few positions that we recommended. TKR. You can see the bullish left-right combo. Right at the same level, it did a bullish engulfing, 50-day moving average. You can see kind of the scoop-type pattern, and it broke out through this level. So this one was a good trade today. Now, there's another one setting up just like it that we recommended, but it didn't really execute. Or if you bought it, you stay long, because if it opens positive, same scenario. Look at your island reversal, scoop-type pattern. If it opens positive, what can we assume? The doji sandwich, which likely would take you right up to the 50-day moving average. Oh, Google, just nothing there that you could get excited about, Bill. NIO, after it did its bullish move off the T-line, still moving up nicely. And another one that people are following in the chat room is LI. Good strong chart. There's your best friend, breakout, wave 3 in progress. So you got a couple of those. I'm still keeping an eye on Kendai. That if this starts trading positive, breaking through the T-line off the 50, you've got a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 in progress. VIPs also stayed up. Somebody was asking if this was a signal today. It could be a hanging man dragonfly doji. But the other piece of information that we gleaned from today's trading was, look where it came to, right back down to the T-line and bounced back up. That was more of an indication of, instead of a sell signal, that it was still showing support at the T-line. So you stay long on this, but you at least become a little bit more weary, I guess, of maybe some profit taking about to occur. Cardiff, another one that used the T-line as support. You can see the bullish harami confirmed, then followed by a doji sandwich. You just stay long on this first target here, and then possibly coming back up into the trend as long as it stays above the T-line. And Tupperware, had some people say they were still in it. Notice the double doji setup. If this opens positive tomorrow, you can start buying immediately. But that's probably going to be a function of the market itself. The market not cratering and also seeing strength in this one. So here's a perfect example. If you see a reversal signal in the oversold area, and I don't know how I got RSI on here. I usually don't use RSI. But the fact that you had a hammer signal right at the 50 made it very easy. You put your stop at the open of the hammer signal, that if it came up through there, it was confirming, which is a good way to stop out of a short position, because I think after hours it's trading up here somewhere. So they must have announced something. Now, there's some good short positions we're still sitting in. Look at the big evening star signal at the 200 in play, Dave and Buster's. And today it still didn't show any strength and closed just below the 50. So if it continues down, which the stochastics look like they're still juice to the downside, you're probably looking at this area down here, so some more downside. So this is just kind of an exercise to say, put all the stars in alignment. You stay short until there's a definite buy signal. There's your kicker signal. The bigger the signal, the more compelling there's been a major change of investor sentiment. So right now, if you're short Zixi, you stay short. You probably use, probably even use today's high as a stop. And MYOV. This one didn't execute as a short today, but it makes for a very easy short entry. Probably right here at the lows, or a little bit more aggressive below yesterday or below today's open. Because if it comes or opens lower and starts trading lower, what's it telling you? Dumpling top, didn't support at the 200, and doesn't look like it's going to be supporting in this area. That means you probably have a wave 3 to the downside. And I think a lot of the biotechs are selling off pretty hard right now. EXPI, this one can still be shorted on weakness, giving you that bearish doji, bearish J-hook pattern. Now look at this right here. This is one where I've heard people call this one white soldier. There is not a one white soldier signal in candlesticks. That's something that somebody has fabricated recently. In Japanese candlestick, historic, what do I say, chart information, this big day to the upside is not a reversal signal, because it isn't a signal. It's just an up day and a downtrend. So what do we assume from this? One white samurai, yeah, whatever. What do we assume? You assume that as soon as it gets to the first resistance level, if they start selling, if you happen to go long, get rid of it immediately, because it's not a reversal. Now, why is that relevant? Why isn't it telling you there's some buying going on, that it should be bought, even though it's not a candlestick reversal signal? Because the logic would be that more than likely the Japanese rice traders saw this type of formation for hundreds of years, and if it was something relevant, they would have given it a name and a signal, and they didn't, which has to be implied that there's nothing here. It's just a bounce. So if I was short, I would have covered the short position, but I would have been more apt to get ready to re-short it on any weakness from there. What did I just do? EXPI, okay. All right, so there are some good charts out there, even though the market is very indifferent. LTHM. Got the doji bullish confirmation, doji sandwich, J-hook type pattern. That one you can be buying. TPIC. Left-right combo, hammer, inverted hammer, smack dab off the 34, back up through the T-line, breaking this downtrend. That one can be bought on positive trading tomorrow. Freeport. Whoops. How did I get way over there? Hope I didn't do that on some of the other ones. Nope. Thank goodness gracious Agnes. Freeport, there's your doji sandwich. At least expect coming back up to the top of the trend channel. PRPH, a J-hook pattern. There's your bullish engulfing doji sandwich. Anytime you see a doji sandwich, that you want to infer immediately there's going to be more upside. And if there's more upside, what does that do to the confirmation of whatever pattern you're looking at? Adds confirmation to it. So that J-hook pattern could take you back up here to the top of the channel, which could be a good 25% upside. And AVNT, there's the doji sandwich. There's kind of a scoop type pattern. But when you see the kind of scoop type pattern and the doji sandwich, Now you just have that little bit more added potential that you could have that, the whipsaw slingshot effect out of here. There's a morning star signal right off the 50, closed right at the T-line. Makes this very simple. If it opens positive, you can start buying immediately. Just being able to do the 2+2 analysis. DQ, another J-hook pattern, classic. There's your fry pan bottom. There's your J-hook pattern. Another J-hook type pattern on PWR. The oils, bunch of oil stocks also started coming back up. Scoop type pattern on Apache. Doji sandwich. Potential slingshot effect. I'm using this one just as an example. Look at your kicker signal down here. Starting that strong up move. Anytime you see a kicker signal, that's one of the top ones that I'll start going after immediately because the results are usually pretty strong in that direction, whether it's bullish or bearish. The Canopy Cgc, another J-hook type pattern. CXW, a scoop type pattern. There's your McMuffin. Morning star signal followed by a doji sandwich. Your morning sandwich. Look for a slingshot effect. Yeah, some of them didn't really have any great looking charts. They're okay charts. Nothing that I'd get real excited about. Crone, well, Crone was up big. Almost kind of a cradle pattern on ACB. There's that scoop type pattern again on MOD. It looks like the machine manufacturing companies were picking up a lot of strength. And BMCH, nice reversal because of the inverted hammer bullish confirmation. I would suspect the top of the channel being your next target. And it looked like some of the gold stocks popped up a little bit today. GFI, gold was, whoops, I guess I can bring it up. Gold looks like it's trying to do a little scoop type pattern. All right, there's still some on the downside. IMUX. You can see how this is rolled over, making the 200 a potential target. Notice the bearish engulfing signal. Tried to bring it back up, bearish engulfing signal. Tried to bring it back up, bearish kind of best friend. That tells you the bears are in control. Look for the 200 as the next likely target. And LMPX couldn't hold the T or the 50, making the 200 a likely target. MDLA. If this one opens lower tomorrow, I'm telling you the 200 is not acting as support. More downside. And this is one of the, whoops, I don't want to skip or I'll get all confused here. There's your evening star type signal. This one can be shorted on weakness with the anticipation you're coming back to the 50. Next target would be coming down here to fill the gap. So When you see sell signals close below the T-line, stochastics heading lower, and you can see the likely targets that everybody else might be watching, makes it a very easy game plan, knowing when to go short and when to stay short. This is the energy, the bear energy, ERY, the big bearish engulfing, close below the T-line, right here at this resistance. Look for it to go to the 50, which would mean the energy stocks are getting stronger. Ollie, you can see the rollover. This one I wouldn't short here because it's getting pretty close, but this is one where I would have started shorting right here, seeing this slow curve rollover. And that's what you want to kind of get your eyes acclimated to. You start seeing this, and then this, that's where you can start shorting. Nvcr, this one you can short on weakness. Obviously the first level to watch is the 50-day moving average. If it breaks through there, lots more downside. Wave 1, wave 2, your bearish best friend taking you into wave down here somewhere. So here's one just about ready. So if this opened lower tomorrow, this would have told you this buying failed and that we're still in a downtrend. Now the big ones, or the ones that you can really start learning how to use, is if you have a big gap down like this, there's going to be a lot more bearish pressure. So you saw that in Twitter, Spotify. Look at your bearish best friend, evening star signal. This is where you can start shorting in here, or definitely right here on this day. That's a lot of force telling you they want to come out of that trade with great enthusiasm. Big gap down, best friend. They're coming out with great enthusiasm. And I click. Just starting to roll over. Where's your next logical target? Right about here, which gets you very close to here. So right now, again, I wouldn't be going after anything aggressively, because it's not, maybe people are buying because they're just anxious to get this darn election over with, and once it's over, they can be back to buying things they like. So with that, is there any general questions on candlesticks right now? Well, we're way early tonight. All right, Jim, I guess do the double line. And in 4.2 seconds, do the next double line. When do you start and stop the wave count? Like in ACAD, started at 9:14 to now, I would think to keep counting to wave 5s. No. I use wave 1, 2, and 3. So if that was wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 would be the same magnitude as wave 1. All right, so it looked like it was time to take profits. And what was the sell signal? The fact that they opened this at the lower end of the, or almost at the previous day's open, up in the overbought condition. It was likely coming back to test the T-line. Now, if I was looking to buy this, seeing if it was going to support here at the T line, now this would become wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. I'm not doing Elliott wave. I'm not counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C reversal. I'm just counting the waves because I'm only going to be in a trade for 2 to 10 trading days. After that, it becomes a different trade. I want to see what it's what's setting up for the next move. IQV. What do you want to know there, Justin? If you were short, I'd stay short, and I'd have a buy stop just above today's high. Axel, I guess the rhetorical question is, which direction is this going right now? Not going anywhere. If you happen to be long, it definitely needs to open positive tomorrow. Vivo. Wouldn't be long or short this one right now. Just not a good looking chart. ABR. This one you can stay long on the doji sandwich breakout. Nice breakout, but this is a realty holding company. Is it worth watching for possible 45-degree? Yeah, the but doesn't mean anything. Doesn't matter what it is, they're buying it. So you could look for, yes, look for a 45-degree off of here. VNO, another realty trust. I wouldn't be short. If I was going long, it needs to break this downtrend. Needs to get through all this. So it's not a real dynamic, Roy, it's not a real dynamic chart. It's in a downward trend. So that's probably the best of your upside potential is the top of the trend channel. No, the lower wick doesn't mean anything. You had a sell signal close below the T line. They tried to bring it back up. If they open it lower, what did it tell you about trying to bring it back up? They kind of failed. They're still being affected by that sell signal and the fact that your stochastics are heading in a downward direction. VJB, I don't know what this, and I don't know what that is, or retype which ones you want out of those. I'm guessing you're looking for this. If you're short, you stay short on this one. NIO we did. NIO you can stay long. Watch to see if you aren't nudging the top of the trend channel, but it looks like it's still got, there's no selling pressure on this one right now. And QTNT, you can get ready to buy this one. Your left-right combo, close above the T-line, close above the 50. At least you figure your first target is right here. See what it does from that point. And home. Double doji. If this opens lower, you can re-short it or stay short. Look at your bearish kicker signal. Stochastic's not quite in the oversold area. Bullish consolidation, but notice the consolidation is doji formations, not very powerful. So if this opened lower tomorrow, you could be shorting it. Now, if it opened positive tomorrow, where did it go? You probably want to cover it because it's at least bouncing back up to the 50 or the T-line. Deer, get ready to start buying this one. A bullish engulfing, a close above the T-line, bounce right off the 50, first target, second target. A nice reversal on United Rentals. Doji, bullish engulfing. Gap up, scoop type pattern, breaking this level. Look for it to at least come back up. There's your first target. And Sedge, what do we want to know about Sedge? Went down 50 points on earnings. What does that tell you? Who wins tomorrow? Well, you have to see if I was short, I'd probably start covering on positive trading because you're right here at the lower end of the castics. If it stays below the T line, you stay short. Does a doji sandwich require a gap either before the doji or after? No. All you want to see on a doji sandwich is, I forget which ones. That's not it. All you want to see is a big candle, a doji near the top of that first big candle, and then a positive open the next day and a trade higher. It doesn't have to gap up. It doesn't even have to move up at all. It just needs to open and then start trading positive. HRI, so this one did gap up. So when they do gap up, it just kind of gives you that little bit more powerful indication that the bulls are stepping in. So yes, you could start going long. I'd be very attentive at that level, seeing what it does up there. Walgreens, you can buy this one. Now notice you got to get through this level. So if you're buying, it's not a real dynamic chart. Do you think this looks as if it will continue to bump along the bottom? Oh, yeah, it just doesn't look like a real dynamic chart just yet, not until they break out through this level. Bullish engulfing, you can buy on positive trading tomorrow and just use the T line as your stop. All right, Joey. CPRE. Why didn't that work? CPRE. Nope. This one you get ready to buy. On positive trading. And LCI on positive trading, yes. There was kind of your doji sandwich with the little gap up, close at the T line. If it opens positive, it's telling you it's confirming the signal, and the T line is not acting as resistance anymore. And DIX, where is the sell signal? The sell signal is right here. There's kind of your bearish doji sandwich and a close below the T line. You got a big bearish engulfing signal and a close below the T line. ICLN, nothing yet. Still want to see bullish confirmation. So you can buy this one on positive trading. Now, if it looks like the market's opening up and it's trading positive and you buy it, you just make sure if it shouldn't come back down through the T line. That's where your stop is. We recommended DRQ. We will still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. CPE. This one you can buy on positive trading. Not real great as a fry pan bottom, but you do have a bullish engulfing signal right here. If it opens and trades above the 50, that now becomes a fry pan bottom analysis. I wouldn't be going long just yet. You still need to see confirmation on apps. I might have covered short positions, but I wouldn't be going long right now. Okay, we're done early tonight, but there's not too much you want to do. I'd be real surprised, and I shouldn't ever say this because the opposite will happen. I'd be real surprised if we see a whole heck of a lot of activity in the markets tomorrow. All right. There are a couple that look good, though, that we'll probably see on the, probably do a buy on LTHM, and TPIC looks good. That might be a short. Okay, everybody. The future's up another 141 points, okay? But remember, that doesn't mean anything. Because tomorrow morning when we get up, they may be down 200 points. So the futures right now have very little relevancy as far as how the market will open tomorrow. All right, everybody. We will see you bright and early in the chat rooms tomorrow. We'll see you then.